what happens then if your certification expires? Do we call that person uncertified?
Yeah, because it means that you were certified with an acknowledge because you've not updated over the years.
Okay.
So that's why most certifications have recertification, meaning that in a 3-year period, you should have engaged with learning for minimum of 60 hours. Meaning that in a year, in the area of your discipline, you should have learned at least 20 hours. That's the minimum. So imagine somebody say that my certification will expire. Oh, that means you know why? If you for every hour you spend, they give you 1 point. Meaning that in 20 hours, that's almost like 1 day in 365 days, 24 hours. You should spend that on updating yourself. And then after 3 years, if you show them you've done this in 3 years, you've accumulated a minimum of 60 hours of learning, they recertify you. So there's no big deal about my certification will expire. In fact, some courses abroad, they tell you that if your BS is over 8 years and you want to do maybe your MSc, they tell you to do another course before that time because it's been long. So we need to constantly update ourselves. It's just that this part of the world, we want to say, we've done it and it's permanent. We knowledge is permanent, but the new discovery, look at what happened before 2020. There was no knowledge about COVID. But now, if you go to America, you see in the pharmacy, you see drugs for COVID. That means in the last 5 years, there's been knowledge update in the medicals.
Okay.
So if a new medical doctor now or pharmacist need to know about new updates. So it's just a way of saying you must keep on being updated. So you're not stale in the areas of your competence, and you're always refreshed when it comes to your mind.
Referencing the comment you made about if you've done it, it's permanent. There are some perceptions for most of this, in quotes, uncertified personnel where they think, I've been certified before, that shouldn't affect my job criteria. For employers, how do they necessarily view expired versus active certifications?
No, because it shows if I have someone that you are aware that your certificate will expire in 3 years and you neglected it. I should be careful about you because you're aware. So some employers actually will ask you, have you recertified? It shows your consistency. It shows your dedication. It shows your discipline. So some employers are actually looking at that now and saying, for you to be consistent for 9 years certified, 12 years certified, it means that you are focused and you are disciplined. And you care about knowing more. And that's what it tells. It tells us that you're someone that is also skillful in continuous learning. You're open to continuous learning every time. So employers are looking at that. Because everything you do, your actions and inactions, affect how people perceive you. So if you tell me that, I used to be certified, why will you lose it? Now, I've seen a lot of people that will lose their PMP and just run into a multinational and they're asking for their PMP. They say, expired. They say, no, I'm not. There's a guy that we had to help. The guy had to run to write as fast as possible because he was almost missing the opportunity. He thought they would take it that way. They said, no, if it's not active, we don't see you as if you're certified. So that guy had to write in 2 weeks another PMP certification to be able to, take on that opportunity. So staying active shows how serious you are.
So this expiration policy, is it necessarily just about knowledge retention or simply a regulatory requirement?
It's firstly more about updating your knowledge. It's not really about regulatory requirement.
Okay.
It's about being able to stand with you as a body and say this certified professional can be counted upon in any role. So it helps that person, this professional body, to be able to say, you know what, we can count on you. So even though you are aware of the new changes, okay, imagine you were certified 10 years ago and things have changed in your industry. You'll be saying Jack Robinson, even when they're asking you something else. So it helps to say, we still stand by this person after 3 years. And that's what it is. So it's not really regulatory because if you don't recertify, you won't go to jail. But it's a standard. Standard means it's best practice. And it helps you open more opportunities to you. That's what it does.
Okay, if we're looking at this on a global scale, are certifications in Nigeria treated differently compared to global markets regarding expiration, actually?
So many certifications in Nigeria don't really expire. It does not expire because Nigeria market, the world market expires. So if you're looking at certifications in Nigeria and you're comparing with a global certification, some section in Nigeria, they give it to you without exams. Think about so many bodies, I don't want to mention names. You don't have to write exams and you're certified. So how do we say you are open to anything, any knowledge, you see so many people that are even carrying some certification that don't know anything about that course, but they have this certification. Most bodies, when they are starting in Nigeria, they look for people they will just do 1-day training and they award them certifications. But that's not the same in the global landscape. You must go through a rigorous process if you will get certified, because they know the implication of empowering someone that doesn't have the skill and the knowledge. That person can kill. But we don't mind people dying. So we can afford to give, we don't care about lives. So we can afford to give anybody a certificate so that person can pay that we are good.
There are some persons who actually believe that the whole aspect of renewing their certifications when expired is just more of some measure of cash cows for issuing bodies. What do you have to say about that controversial topic?
Okay, so let me take an example.
Yes.
Most of these bodies, they give you options of being their member or non-member. So, and most of these bodies abroad, they are not for profit. So how much are you paying for certifications? Maybe max, you're paying $600. And for a global certification, it's just where you are in Nigeria that's making it look as if it's a lot of money. $600 is nothing. So now, for every recertification, people in 3 years don't pay more than maybe some bodies will even tell you should pay $100. Some say pay $90. Some say pay $150. Now, imagine you're paying only $150 in 3 years. They cannot use it for anything. It's not a cash make. They're not for profit. So you think most times in this part of the world we're thinking, oh, you know what? The reason why they are making me research, they can be making money from me. How much is the money? So they're not making money. But these are administrative money that probably they're using to run the institute. And even in Nigeria, almost all institute they charge what they call it, annual fees. So if you belong to ICANN, you belong to ACC, they charge annual fees. So you pay annual membership fee. So these bodies don't charge membership fee. So it's optional. Okay. But every 3 years, you pay a recertification fee. And that's all. Okay, how do they pay the salary of people that are supporting your certification? They have office. How they pay to support you or something. So it's just used majorly for administrative. It's not profit. It's not for profit. So it's not really about the profit, no.
Interesting. Out of curiosity, are there strategies to maintain your credentials without constantly taking exams?
That's why I said earlier that you just have to learn.
Okay.
Every 1 hour you spend in learning, that's 1 unit. And you need 60 in 3 years. That's a strategy. So you don't have to write the exam. Because there are 2 ways you can recertify. You can recertify by continuous learning. Okay. You can recertify by exam. So it means that after it expires, you have to write another exam. Well, people don't like writing exams. So you rather do learning and log it in. And that's what recertifies you. And that's easy way. Okay. So many of my certifications now are expiring 2030. So 2028, 2030, 31. Because every time I learn, I log it in. Every time I learn, I log it in. Okay. So I have more than enough to recertify me in years to come.
All right, let's wrap this up with advice for some professionals. How should professionals plan properly for certification renewals without losing momentum in their careers? Because some of them think that they have to take a break.
No.
Yes.
No. You see, take for example, most recertification programs we have, we organize maybe probably on Saturdays or weekends, and just for 2 hours. So that gives you 2 in a month. That gives you 2 units in a month. So imagine you have 2 in 1 year. That's 24. Then that's easy way to. So it's not obstructing anything. Yeah. It's just to be more deliberate about learning. That's all. It's just we don't have. He said if you want to keep something from a black man, he said you should keep it on the base of the book. But black men don't like reading. And that's why it looks like, what does it take to spend 2 hours on learning every month? That's the minimum you can give to your career.
Certification Edge, building cross-border capabilities.